The Mazda CX9 is a three-row SUV, but it's also a Mazda, raising question number one, is it fun to drive?
Yes, it is. If you want to treat your commute like a one-car car chase, the CX9 is surprisingly willing. 7 seats be damned.
Quick steering, fun handling, decent grip. In spite of its size, the CX9 steers with joyful competence.
It's also a joy to look at. You don't need a doctorate in Mazda's soul of motion design philosophy to appreciate the flowing athleticism of the Mazda CX9.
Hide the Mazda badge and be honest, this could easily be the product of a luxury car maker. So it's got the looks and the moves. How is the CX9 as a family-friendly SUV?
That's where we run into a snag. As you'd expect, there's plenty of room in the front seats, move to the second row, and there's still enough space for an actual full-size adult, but it is tighter in here than most mid-size SUVs. For example, with a rear-facing child seat here, the front seat passenger is probably gonna have to notch forward just a little bit. Fine, but the real challenge comes when we bring the third row into the equation. For starters, operating the second row to get to the third row is just plain awkward. You pull this lever right here, and then the headrest hits the front seat, so you have to pull that back and kind of muscle the seat cushion forward to make a clearance so you can get to the third row. And then, once somebody's back there, when you flip it back, the seat returns to a position no human would occupy, meaning you have to flip this down and then slide this back.
The second row seats are actually designed to slide forward with a child seat installed, but if your child uses a rear-facing seat, even with the front seat all the way forward, accessing the third row is essentially impossible. I'm guessing this will work much better when my daughter is big enough for a front-facing car seat.
Once aboard, assuming you're an adult, you'll probably regret volunteering for third row duty. Headroom is super tight for the segment, and so is legroom, assuming the first 2 rows are occupied. Like Pokemon Go, the rearmost seats in the CX9 are best reserved for the kids. Catch them all! I'm out in the world.
With 14.4 cubic feet, the Mazda CX-9 boasts slightly more space behind its third row than the Toyota Highlander, but less than the Ford Explorer, Nissan Pathfinder, and Honda Pilot. If you want to squeeze a stroller back here, you'll have to drop at least one seat. Dropping both the second and third rows creates a conveniently flat 71.2 cubic foot load area, though each of the CX-9's key competitors offers more total cargo space. Bottom line, the CX-9 is a fine 5-seater, but best reserved as an occasional 7-seater. And if you need 8 seats, be glad the Honda Pilot and Toyota Highlander exist. One last seat-related observation, front seats are aggressively bolstered in the shoulder region. Good news for lateral support, but potentially uncomfortable depending on your body type. Where powertrains are concerned, using a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder to propel more than 4,000 pounds worth of SUV might seem crazy, but thanks to the miracle of turbocharging, CX-9's engine produces a reasonable 227 horsepower on regular gasoline and 250 horsepower on 93 octane, all while delivering some of the best fuel economy you'll find in a 3-row SUV. The CX-9's torque figure is even more impressive, enabling strong acceleration from a stop and a tow rating of 3,500 pounds. Front-wheel drive is standard, but for $1,800, all-wheel drive adds all-weather traction for a mere 1 mpg hit in city and highway driving.
In all trims, a 6-speed automatic comes standard. It's not the smoothest automatic transmission I've ever used, but it gets the job done. And hey, look, there's a sport mode for zoomier shifts. Oh, hey, look at that racy downshifting. That's kind of fun.
While enjoying all those fun shifts, you might also appreciate a cabin that's both quiet and exceptionally attractive, especially the $45,000 top-of-the-line signature trim with its Napa leather and genuine aluminum and rosewood trim. Though, quick observation, making the edge of the rosewood veneer visible partially ruins the upscale effect. Regardless, the CX-9's artfully geometric cockpit definitely makes a statement.
I don't know what that statement is, but I think it has something to do with success and forging new paths. Yeah.
Prominently placed in the attractive dash is an infotainment system featuring a 7-inch screen in the base trim and an 8-inch screen in all others. You wish Apple CarPlay or Android Auto were offered, but even without modern phone integration, the system works well due to its unambiguous display and intuitive rotary controller. Starting around $32,500, the Mazda CX9 is to varying degrees more expensive than base versions of the Ford Explorer, Toyota Highlander, Chevy Traverse, Nissan Pathfinder, and Honda Pilot. However, for that price, you do get a nicely equipped CX9 with automatic 3-zone climate control, LED head and tail lamps, a backup camera, 6 airbags, and one-touch windows all around. Move up through the trim levels, and you can add heated seats, leather, navigation, rear parking sensors, rear sunshades, a 12-speaker Bose audio system, keyless entry with push-button start, and a power liftgate. As with many of Mazda's offerings, the CX9 can also be equipped with a roster of modern safety and convenience technologies, including blind spot warning, automatic emergency braking, a delightfully subtle lane keep assist feature, and dynamic cruise control which automatically deactivates below 19 miles per hour. Keep that in mind the first time you try it in traffic.
If you love driving, appreciate artful design, and rarely need more than 5 seats, the Mazda CX9 is an awfully fun SUV. But as you might recall from college, fun rarely comes without consequence. If your ideal 3-row SUV prioritizes people and cargo hauling abilities over fun, it would be wise to investigate the alternatives.